if you're doing anything, you must involve us. You don't do anything without our knowledge.
Putting meaningful engagement with organisations of people with disabilities into practice. Lessons from the Inclusive Futures Disability Inclusive Development Programme. Understand the role of OPDs and respect their skills and expertise.
Understanding what OPDs are, their role, and how they work, that will be very key before beginning any kind of engagement.
Our roles as an OPD in the steering committee is to bring about more inclusion, increased participation of persons with disability, and make sure that projects designed are more inclusive and disability friendly, and the voice of persons with disability are heard.
To be frank, in talking without including them in decision making, the project will crash. So with them giving their ideas on the table, the time of decision taking will really help.
Seek diverse inclusion of OPDs in the area and context you want to work in.
Within a program like Inclusive Futures, OPDs are at the center of the program. So then what we are doing is using that structure of OPDs to make sure that women and girls with disabilities from local level, from rural communities, and then the diverse types of disabilities are being represented. Especially in the Kenyan context, organizations of persons with disabilities are everywhere, from the smallest level of administration in Kenya. Organizations like us, like UDPK being an umbrella organization of persons with disabilities, you will be able to get a lot of guidance in terms of how do you engage with OPDs at any level.
Identify any gaps and strengthen representation.
Once you figure out how the OPDs are organized, if there are no specific organizations of women with disabilities, there are no specific youth-led organizations, then the next thing you'd want to do is a capacity assessment, or just an assessment of the organization to look at what does the participation of women look like, what does the participation of young people look like. The 3 circles tool helps a lot because it does have those questions within it, and then it also includes combining that with the gender assessment. That will really help to break down in terms of what does the leadership look like, what is the participation of women look like, the participation of young people, and then as well the diversity in disability for different groups of women with disabilities, different groups of young people with disabilities. To have that conversation with the organization in terms of what are the barriers, what is limiting the participation of women and young people, and then figure out jointly how do you strengthen that.
I've received so many skills of inclusive futures programs. Well, it makes me a stronger advocate. It makes me to know the right time to fight for my rights. What are my rights? What are my choices?
Training focus on advocacy, safeguarding sexual reproductive health and rights for persons with disability, as well as policy related to persons with disability and accessibility audits. And now I have a better understanding of the policy and framework that supports inclusivity and equality.
Agree and develop a clear strategy of engagement, including areas for capacity strengthening.
Or one of the key learnings is the need to have a clear OPD engagement strategy developed together with the OPDs and then owned by all the consortium partners. They need to have a clear terms of reference, a clear process of engagement, right from identification to involvement in project inception, throughout program implementation, and then even during monitoring. The forums where we look at lessons learned and then involvement in validation workshops for different learning products, be it research, be it any insight studies. This engagement strategy also captures, apart from the direct involvement or the activities that the OPDs get to participate in, lead on, but then also the capacity strengthening approach of the program.
That's the training that we had on safeguarding. It helped us to improve our policy because we have sent our policy to site savers. They review it and we are able to pinpoint some of the gaps that we are having on safeguarding policies, and we have improved on that.
So the partnership is very, very helpful, and it's bringing us together to work as a team. It's bringing a very big collaboration.
Agree roles and responsibilities.
The role of OPDs is to sensitize the society about inclusive education, to give the knowledge the society how to handle the pupils or the children with disabilities. Previous, we have not do this for using OPDs.
হোম বেসড এডুকেশন, বাড়ি ভিত্তিক শিক্ষায় ওই বাচ্চাকে আমরা আগে প্রস্তুত করে তুলে তারপর ওই বাচ্চার স্কুলে ভর্তি করে দেই, মাঝে মধ্যে খোঁজ খবর নেই স্কুলে যাইতেছে কি যাইতেছে না। তারপর বাচ্চার সুবর্ণ নাগরিক কার্ড, শিশুদের আমরা সুবর্ণ নাগরিক কার্ড করে দেই, এবং তাদের যে একটা ভাতা বই আছে যাতে তারা উপকৃত হয় সেই ভাতা কার্ড আমরা করে দেই।
Dedicate resources and budgets to OPD engagement.
The costs for OPDs in terms of mobilization costs, communication costs, all of that are budgeted for by the program. So any cost around OPD participation is taken care of.
যেমন নেতৃত্ব বিকাশের একটা ট্রেনিং পাইছি আমরা, অ্যাডভোকেসি ট্রেনিং, হোম বেসড এডুকেশন কি, তারপর একীভূত শিক্ষাটা কি, এগুলা ট্রেনিং আমাদের দেওয়া হয়েছে। ট্রেনিং এর মাধ্যমে আমাদের উন্নত করে তারপর আমরা জিনিস ইনক্লুসিভ ফিউচার আমরা বুঝতে পারছি। কোনো শিশু শিক্ষা থেকে বাদ দিয়ে নয়, সকল শিশুই শিক্ষার আওতায় আসবে।
This should be a lesson to other organizations to emulate what FCDO is doing by involving us, carrying us along, and then including us in implementing their activities, both from the startup stage up to the implementation. We want to be included, we want to be carried along.
Disability inclusion is everyone's responsibility. Find out more about building collaborative partnerships with OPDs at inclusivefutures.org.